Are you wondering what's general surgery like ngayong COVID? Ako din. Hi, it's good to have you back. Welcome to another episode of From MD to Residency, helping you make the wise choice. In this episode, we'll talk about general surgery. If you haven't watched the first episode, don't worry. I'll put a link right up here. Pwede nyo siyang panoorin later. Hindi nyo naman kailangan mapanood yung first episode para mag-gets tong second episode. For today's episode, we will be hearing from Doc Arjo de Castro. Doc Arjo is a third-year general surgery resident from St. Luke's Medical Center, Quezon City. Doc Arjo got his medical degree from St. Luke's Medical Center, Quezon City, William H. Quasha Memorial, and Doc Arjo has a degree in biology from the University of Santo Tomas. You can also follow him on Instagram at ArjoDC. Tuwagin na natin si Doc. Hi Doc, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming. Yan. So for the first question, how did you end up in your chosen residency program? How did you end up in general surgery?
Well, actually, like any other siguro med student, from the years na ongoing ka ng mga studying mo ng medicine, syempre napapaisip ka parang ano yung gusto mo. Mataas ang percent, siguro more than 50%, nag-iiba yung decision when it comes to their chosen residency program. Ako kasi dati, actually, nung first year ako, I really wanted to do cardiology. Pero kasi for the next few years, nung na-expose na ako, especially during my clinical rotations, sobrang big help talaga yun. Doon ko na-realize na hindi ko kaya yung nasa wards ka, nag-rounds. Gusto mo yung maraming skills. Nung nakita ko yun when I rotated in the surgery program, sobrang na-enjoy ko. Especially when nag-operating room ka, you learn a lot of skills. Kasi sa surgery, usually instant yung effect. For example, may appendicitis, you remove the appendix after the operation, okay na agad yung patient. Whereas, for example, if internal medicine, usually it takes time for patients to improve. Ako kasi parang mas gusto ko, kita ko agad na merong improvement. Sobrang na-enjoy ko talaga ang surgery. That's why I decided to take up surgery.
Naalala ko nga, Doc, nung I think first year, second year pa lang ako, kayo yata yung nag-present sa junior and senior internship na case presentation.
Ay, oo.
Naalala ko talaga yun, kaya
oo, kasi ano yun
sa, hospital.
It's a way rin para magpakitang gilas. Some medical schools have 5-year programs whereas some only have 4 years. Nagiging actually double-edged sword yung pagka 5 years yung program. For example, pag 5 years ka, diretso ka agad senior internship. So para mas na-expose ka doon sa setup ng gusto mong hospital. At the same time, mas nakikilala ka ng mga doctors, residents, yung healthcare team na nandun sa program na yun. So for me, that's why I tried na mag-present then during that time was in order to prove to myself na una, na-enjoy ko yung mga ganitong topics. Pangalawa, para ma-prove ko sa kanila na kahit intern pa lang ako, kaya ko na to be in that program.
Yes, Doc. So, dapat hindi natatakot yung mga clerks and interns mag-present ng cases, no? It's really
Definitely.
to our advantage.
Yes, as in, ako talaga, every time na may nag-rotate sa akin na mga JIS, I usually advise them na parang, mag-surgery ka ba? Try mo mag-present sa college kasi sobrang plus points yun pag nakita nila. Pero at the same time, syempre, kung flop yun,
parang maalala din nila.
Improve.
So, ayun. Dapat nag-volunteer.
Kaya kailangan talaga, galingan mo.
Yes, Doc. Okay, Doc. So, moving on to the next question. How many years will it take to finish general surgery?
Usually, like for example, sa St. Luke's setting, 5 years ang general surgery residency. That's on top of, syempre, the 3 years in med school, the 1 year in clinical clerkship, and 1 year in senior internship. So, 5 years. So, kung mag-iisip ka na gusto mo ng surgery, parang siguraduhin mo na.
You're in it for the long run. Oh.
Yes, you're in it for the long run. Hindi siya yung parang mabilisan lang na matatapos agad. Dami mong skills na kailangan matututunan. Hindi naman yun agad-agad na magaling kang mag-suture. Ako, marami akong mga intern come across with na parang gusto nila mag-surgery pero ang concern nila is, paano yan, Doc? Hindi ako magaling magtahi. Hindi ako magaling sa ganito. Okay lang ba na pumasok ako surgery? Don't worry. Ako kasi, actually, nung pumasok ako, hindi rin ako very confident sa suturing skills. Parang yung yabang na intern lang, gano'n. Pero parang, that's why you enter residency. Ang reason mo for entering residency is to train yourself in order to hone your skills towards yung talagang gusto mong gawin. So ako, nung pagpasok ko ng surgery, doon talaga ako natuto mag-suture, doon talaga ako natuto mag-assist, doon talaga ako natuto sa how the proper technique is. And that's what you're
Yes,
gonna
Doc.
learn during your residency program.
For our viewers, kay Doc Arjo na mismo nang galing, huwag kayong matakot, huwag niyong i-doubt yung sarili niyo kapag feeling niyo hindi pa enough yung skills niyo kasi it really takes time and residency is that time to improve your skills. Isa kong kinoconsider din talaga yung surgery pero yung hesitations ko ay feeling ko mabigat yung kamay ko. For example, gumagawa ako ng latte art, ganyan. Tapos feeling ko talaga ang bigat ng kamay ko kaya hindi ko siya ma-perfect agad. Pag naghihiwa pa ako ng gulay, parang lagi ako nasasabihan na bakit ganyan yung gulay na hinihiwa mo, hindi bantay-bantay. So parang lalo ko lang nadadoubt yung sarili ko.
Well, actually, ang sabi sa akin ng, well, my family members can attest to it. Mabigat to ang kamay ko kasi dati talaga, minamasahe ko pa nga yung parents ko eh. Sabi nila, wow, bigat ng kamay mo. Kaya nung nalaman nila na magsa-surgery ako, parang napaisip sila, sigurado ka. Tuturuan ka talaga how to handle instruments. You learn from the residency program itself. Eh ako nga, pero nag-aalaga ako ng mga halaman. Pero ano naman yun, you don't have to, all about practice talaga.
Lumakas yung loob ko talaga pag may mga nagsasabi na, mabigat din yung kamay ko dati.
Parehas tayo.
May pag-asa yung mga taong mabibigat yung kamay dyan. Kaya naman.
Naman.
So yung next question, what was residency like pre-COVID? Parang ano yung job
Pre-COVID.
description ng residents? Ano yung ginagawa ng isang general surgery resident? Ano yung parang life of a general surgery resident?
Well, actually, di ba, Janelle, you were able to rotate sa surgery pre-COVID.
Yes, Doc.
Kasama ka naman namin during life before COVID, like any other hospital. Maraming kaso every day. You wake up early kasi mga early morning cases na you have to assist. Usually kasi dati per day nakaka-assist ako to 3 to 4 cases or minsan umabot pa ng 5 cases na ako lang aside from the other residents na pumapasok din. Kasi roughly, dami talaga ng kaso per day. Which is good. Kasi syempre, more cases, more time to practice yourself, na nag-guide ka ng mga consultants that you scrub in and assist to. So, ganun siya lagi. Like ako kasi, third year resident ako. Ang third year kasi sa surgery ng St. Luke's, we're assigned sa ER. So, pre-COVID, tambay ka sa ER, antay na may dumating na may vehicular accident, all types of laceration or abdominal pain, andyan ka. Basically, yun yung life namin before COVID happened. And toxic siya pero fulfilling. Lalo na kung marami talagang mga patients na natutuwa with the way you handle them and how you explain to them yung current condition nila.
Okay, Doc. So, ngayon, Doc, a lot are curious ako din, actually, kasi hindi, yun nga, naabutan ko yung surgery pre-COVID. So, ano naman, Doc, yung surgery residency ngayong COVID? Paano siya nagbago?
COVID. Ako, sobrang laki ng difference actually. Surgery, sabihin ko na lang yung surgery sa St. Luke's Medical Center, Quezon City setting. Right? Kasi as much as possible during COVID, we want to limit the number of people who are at the hospital. So, pagka ganun, we try to limit the number of residents then who enter the hospital sa surgery. So, parang kumbaga skeletal kami. Pero, although skeletal, since hindi naman natin nakokontrol yung number of surgeries per day, or yun, yung mga number of surgeries per day na kailangan assistant, sometimes you really have to come back sa hospital even if off ka, just to be able to assist during the surgery. Kasi isa pang factor is, syempre, wala na yung mga clerks, wala na rin yung mga interns who also help us during sa hospital itself. Like for example, sa wards, nakakatulong sila, sobrang big help. And especially sa mga ORs where we also have assists, na clerks and interns. So in order to fill up that void, syempre, we have to add more residents as assists during surgery. So parang dumadami yung mga assist na nadadagdag sa surgery. So that's one. Another, like yung sinabi ko earlier, na pagka-ER kami, usually nakatambay sa emergency room. Sa amin right now, ang setting is usually on-call kami. So, actually, mas nakakapagod siya kasi yung location ng namin, ng conference room, nilipat sa 6th floor kasi yung current na department, I mean the previous surgery department location was converted to a COVID ward. So we had to evacuate that ward in order to accommodate yung mga COVID patients. At saka, para mas secluded sila, isolated sila. So nalipat na kami sa 6th floor. So every time na meron kaming mga referrals, we have to go down sa ground floor, aakyat ulit. So medyo nakakapagod siya. Yun. Aside from that, syempre, another big thing since wala rin yung mga cares and maintenance, we handle the patients on our own sa emergency room. Pag kami mga lacerations, we need to do suturing and what. We usually do it on our own or nagdadagdag kami ng mga residents na assist din, na tutulong sa amin sa ER, lalo na pag naging toxic. Another big difference is before we only had an operating room to differentiate cardiovascular surgeries versus mga main general surgery na mga operations. Right now, the cardiovascular OR has been converted into a COVID OR. Meaning, for any patients na, for example, emergency na or kailangan na urgent na operation na hindi maaantay yung swab or any workup for COVID, we have to do it dun sa operating room na yun. So, at the expense, we also have to wear yung mga mas maiinit. Sobrang init ng mga bunny suit talaga. As in, like, may isa akong OR. Sobrang parang naligo ako dun sa scrubs ko because of the heat sa loob ng bunny suit. Well, that's the price to pay na instead of exposing yourself, diba? You have to be very careful right now during COVID. So yun, na-separate siya, COVID OR from the main operating room. Doon naman sa main operating room, syempre, we only tend to patients na who have clear X-ray and yung negative, yung RT-PCR for COVID. So that's the big difference right now. Pero otherwise, in terms of cases, marami kasi ang natatakot pumunta sa hospital. And that's for sure. That's one of the main reasons, I think, kung bakit din konti yung operations right now because of the fact na una, transportation-wise, hirap yung mga tao to go to the hospital. Pangalawa, I also think that because of the rising number of COVID cases in our country, na hihinder sila from having themselves having consulted with a surgeon as outpatient. Usually, dumarating na sila sa ER, mga napatagal na nila yung appendicitis or hindi na sila nakakadumi for days. So, dumarating na sila ng ganun as much as possible. Parang ang nagiging mentality ng mga tao is tinitiis nila. Yes. Yung nararamdaman nila before they have themselves checked. So, I think yun yung isa sa mga big factors din ngayon. Difference from the pre-COVID and COVID season.
Okay, Dok. Tapos, Dok, nabanggit niyo kanina na yung cases, syempre, iba na yung number of cases ngayon compared dati. Paano nun, Dok, na-affect yung training? Parang tatagal ba yung year? May hinihintay ba kayong number of cases? Or parang it goes on as if na parang okay lang to move on tayo sa next year? Kasi sa amin din, sa med school, medyo uncertain pa lahat. Especially ngayon na internship will be online. Parang walang makakasigurado kung ma-meet ba naman yung requirements for graduation kasi syempre iba siya from last year na merong skills yung internship. So parang in general surgery naman, Dok, in that aspect, paano na-affect ng COVID yung part na yun?
Okay. Actually, that's one of the big concerns before kasi syempre a lot of residency programs right now are already extending yung residency nila, yung time. In terms of surgery sa amin, medyo nakahabol naman yung number of cases. Although may mga ibang cases na, like for example, yung mga hindi emergency, like thyroid, hindi naman sila masyadong emergency. Yun yung marang nagiging kulang. Pero otherwise, other operations like mga bowel resection or yung mga appendicitis, colic, they still come. Yun nga lang, medyo difficult na sila pag dumarating kasi talagang pinatagal na nila because
Mm-mm.
before sila nagpa-consult. Yun. Um, Other than that, for now, I think we're able to catch up with the cases. Konting ano lang talaga, as in like nagsisipag lang talaga kasi mga seniors, usually the fifth year residents, sila yung naghahabol ng cases. Ano lang talaga sila, talagang pasok lang sila ng pasok sa mga ORs just to be able to get the number of cases that are required. Thankfully, actually, yung Philippine Society ng mga General Surgeons, they already adjusted din the index cases. Like for example, before you have to take around three private cases para ma-consider mo as one case. Pero ngayon, I think nabawasan na nila, which is a good thing. Kasi syempre, everyone has to adjust for this pandemic. Hindi pwedeng titigil talaga eh. We just have to adjust and we have to be flexible enough to adapt to these kinds of problems. Hindi natin mapapredict eh na darating.
Yes,
Hindi mo natin alam na darating tong COVID eh.
oo nga. So now that you mentioned na hindi natin alam na darating pa itong COVID, kung nagkaroon ng time nung nag-apply kayo nung residency, merong nalaman yun na magkakaroon ng ganito, magkakaroon ng COVID, magbabago yung training ng surgery residency, would you still have applied, Doc? If you knew na ganito yung mangyayari ngayon, parang may risk na mahawa ng COVID from surgical patients, tapos yung PPE, syempre mas mahirap, mas toxic. Would you have still continued with your application?
Sobrang good question to. Actually, to be honest, Janelle, every day that you go on duty sa hospital, nakakatakot.
Yes,
Kasi hindi mo alam when ka matatamaan ng COVID. Hindi mo alam if pag pumasok ka ba today sa duty na to, may infect ka na ba? Is this the day that you get infected? You don't know. Hindi mo
that's true.
mapigil. That's yung what you can do lang is always take care of yourself, eat healthy, yung ganun, practice hygiene talaga. That's important. In terms of yung, for example, may dumating nga sa akin, parang nagparamdam sa akin na naginip ako na, oh shit, magkaka-COVID daw, third year ka. Tutuloy mo yung residency.
Kunyari, opo.
Kunwari. Ako, given yung third year na ako, most probably I would still continue. I mean, the first 2 years of my residency, it was a blast. I mean, ang dami kong natutunan pa rin. Kahit paano, ang dami kong natutunan skills, ang dami kong naging mga patients, ang dami kong natutunan din from them. So, I wouldn't say na naging waste in 2 years ko ng residency ko. So, even if nasabihan ako na parang, magkaka-COVID daw pagka third year ka na, tuloy mo ba? Sabi ko, pili ko, itutuloy ko pa din. Like what I said earlier, it depends on the number of years it takes for your training. Surgery takes 5 years. I don't think that I would stop myself from continuing this program despite having this kind of pandemic. We are doctors eh. We really handle these types of patients. Hindi natin talaga mapipigilan. Kahit sabihin sa akin na, pag 50 mo may bago daw, COVID-21. Hindi natin mapipigilan yun. We just have to really adapt. We have to be flexible enough. And kung mag-a-adjust, tinan mo, nag-a-adjust naman lahat ng tao. So, eventually, come what may, you'll be able to get through with what you'll be facing in residency. Sobrang talaga, everyday, parang laging may surprise. Hindi mo alam what you'd expect. Kahit yung mga little na bagay na hindi mo expect kung ano yung darating sa ER today, hindi mo expect kung ano yung makikita nyo sa loob ng operating room. Yung mga ganong bagay, hindi mo siya ma-expect. So, ako, ang payo ko lagi is, tuloy lang, go lang. You just need to be flexible enough and adapt to the situation at hand.
That's true. Iba talaga yung commitment, Doc, no? Lalo na pagka nag-Hippocratic oath.
Oo, sobra.
So, may nabanggit na kayong tips kanina, pero if ever, meron pa po ba kayong ma-expound na tips for example, sa amin, interns, yung mga nag-graduate, kakagraduate.
Oo, yung mga magbo-boards na no?
Yung mga nag-iisip kung magtutuloy ba ako ng residency given the situation here in the Philippines, medyo parang hindi clear yung support for the healthcare system. Parang Ano yung masasabi niyo sa kanila, Doc? Words of wisdom.
Ang usual advice ko talaga sa mga clerks and interns that rotate in surgery is, kasi ang dami talaga nagtatanong, Doc, anong tingin mo? Do I continue with residency agad after boards or should I stop muna? Mag-moonlight muna? Kasi syempre, iba nasisilaw sa moonlight, especially with the amount that they get. I'm not saying it's really high, pero compared talaga sa residency ng private,
Yes.
it's higher talaga. Ang sinasabi ko lagi is, you have to assess all aspects ng life mo before you make that decision. Kasi it's a very big decision. Sobrang laking path change siya. Lagi yung sinasabi, assess the current situation in your life. You always enter or you make a commitment depending on what you need most. For example, may isa akong na-encounter dati na clerk. Gusto daw niya na magka-money muna kasi hindi pa daw tapos yung mga kapatid niya na mag-aral or gusto niyang gamutin muna yung mom niya. Ganun. Sa mga And ang concern is usually the money. The money naman talaga din ang nagiging concern na aside from not being ready. Yun, if mostly because of necessity, that's why you have to take a break or para rin to help yourself assess better. I say take a break, mag-moonlight ka muna, mag-decide ka muna what you really want to do. And if really it's more of necessity na kailangan mo yung money, kailangan mo mag-ipon muna because kung nag-residency ka in a private institution, it's not gonna help you pag may family ka na, it's not gonna help you na anahin sila, alagaan
Buhayin sila.
with that amount. Oo, hindi mo kayang buhayin. So kung yun yung purpose mo, more of like to help someone else in terms of yung money or iba pang concerns, put it as your priority. Kahit naman may residency, andyan lang din naman. Although, syempre, yun, isipin nyo pa yung time. Pero otherwise, isipin nyo talaga kung ano yung what you really need most before you make that decision. If, for example naman, wala ka namang binubuhay na iba or wala ka namang ibang concern, you're just really anxious if you wanna start with residency na. I say go for it. Sayang yung time. Yung amount that you get during your moonlight, it won't be equivalent to the amount, syempre, that you would gain after you complete your specialization.
Training.
Right now, kasi talaga ang trend is specialization. Specialization na talaga ang habol ng tao. Mahirap na ngayon yung magsistay ka na lang as a general practitioner. You really have to improve yourself. You have to be able to specialize. Parang lagi mong goal is self-improvement talaga.
Yes,
self-improvement. Yun. So, unang-una mong isipin is, ano ba ang kailangan mo ngayon? Do you need to really stop? Or is it just because you're scared? If not, I say go for it. Tuloy nyo na yung residency. Even if may COVID, even if may iba pang illness na dumating, hindi mo mapipigilan yun. Ang hindi mo rin mapipigilan is time. So, yun yung kalaban mo lagi. Ang time.
Yes, Doc. Okay, so walang one-stop answer talaga, no? Kapag kailangan talaga, it really depends on you, your situation. Marami-raming pagmumuni yung kailangan Google, tsaka maraming self-awareness, self-reflection na kailangan gawin. Walang magkakapagsabi sa inyo kung tutuloy ba or not. It really depends on yourself talaga.
Unang-una talaga is you really need to know the current situation of your life before you proceed with surgery. Kasi it's a commitment. Hindi lang actually sa surgery. With any other residency program, it's a commitment. Talagang maraming time ang mawawala sa'yo, maraming holidays, ganun pa rin, the same. Duties, pagod, andyan pa din. Pero what you would see at the end of it is yung victory na na-complete mo ito and you're already specialized.
Okay, Doc. So for the last question, Doc, if you have one wish related to your residency program, as in walang rules, parang kunyari lang kahit anong maisip mo about it. For example, sana walang appendicitis cases for 1 year, parang gano'n. Ano yung mga...
Huwag naman, nawalan kami ng kaso. Sige, pipikit mo na ako. Actually, well, I would want to wish na sana dumami yung kaso. Pero alam mo, actually, Janelle, yung pinaka-wish ko ngayon na ma-survive namin lahat itong pandemic na to. We would survive, we would be able to finish this healthy, nang hindi magkakasakit kahit sino sa amin, na maging safe lahat ng mga frontliners, healthcare frontliners, or any frontliner for that matter. Sana ma-survive lang natin itong pandemic na to. Because clearly, COVID-19 is no joke. Marami na talagang nagsasuffer, marami nang may involved, mas nagiging aggressive na siya. All we have to do talaga is take care of ourselves, think about others, huwag tayo maging selfish. And yun, wish ko lang sana we all survive this.
True, Doc. Kinilabutan ako dun sa wish mo. Kinilabutan ako.
Oh, naku, baka magkatotoo naman. Yan. Healthy 2020.
Yeah. Ay, nako. So
sana mabuhay mga plants ko.
Oh, yes. Ayun nga, Doc. Sabi ko nga sa mga tao na follow kayo sa Instagram, the OG plant tito.
Oo nga, alam mo, dapat sabihan ko na yung mga plant, mga plant posts.
OG plant daddy. Plant daddy. So that ends the questions for this interview. Thank you so much, Doc, for sharing your time with us and your knowledge. Sana maraming matutunan yung mga tao dito sa segment natin.
Yeah, so, I really hope. And sana i-consider niyo surgery. Masaya ang surgery.
Yes, that's true. Wag na mag-hesitate, wag nang i-doubt yung sarili.
So, ito kayo sa St. Luke's QC. Alagaan namin kayo. Tanel, antayin ka namin, ha?
Maghihiwa muna ako, Dok, ng mga gulay. Pagpapracticean ko yung gulay.
Sige. Practicean mo yung mga gulay.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you po. Bye-bye, Doc. Thank you.
Bye. Keep safe.
So that was Doc Arja from General Surgery sa St. Luke's, Quezon City. I hope you learned a lot from this episode. Yung mga nag-hesitate kung kaya bang maging surgeon, tulad ko. Kasi kino-consider ko talaga ang isang surgical residency program. Pero yun nga, nabanggit ko, nag-hesitate ako kasi feeling ko mabigat yung kamay ko, feeling ko hindi ako magaling magtahi. Pero nanggaling na kay Doc Arjo na don't doubt yourself kasi residency talaga is the time for you to train and hone your skills. Sana naliwanagan kayo kung ano ba yung dapat nyong gawin, like what Doc Arjo said. It really depends on your situation kung tutuloy ka ba ng residency or not, kung ano ba yung residency na pipiliin mo, ikaw pa rin yung pipili. So this series is just something na magpapaliwanag sa'yo ng mga questions na you might have in mind. Pero at the end of the day, ikaw pa rin yung magde-decide. That's why I hope that this series, this episode, will help you make the wise choice. This series will not make the wise choice for you kasi ikaw pa din. Ikaw pa din yung pipili. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and share this to your friends na nag-hesitate mag-surgery or nag-iisip mag-surgery. Sana matulungan din sila nitong video na to. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll make sure to check it out. Kung hindi pa kayo nakapag-subscribe, please consider subscribing. I make videos about med school, sometimes about coffee. Hindi nga lang ako makapag-commit kung kailan lalabas yung next episode nitong series kasi yun nga, like what Doc Arjo mentioned, iba talaga yung schedule sa residency program. It's really unpredictable. I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know. Leave them in the comment section below. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave. He's the OG plant daddy. Plant daddy? He is the OG plant tito na nakilala ko. Before pa nauso yung plants ngayon, si Doc Arjo meron na siyang garden sa room niya. Tama ba yun, Doc?